everyone, and welcome to maybe the last video of 2020 and the first video with a new microphone. Maybe also the last video with the new microphone. I don't know, let me know. This video is all about my 10 favorite parks of 2020 that I hope will inspire you for your own park builds in the new year that is almost upon us. In 2020, I've uploaded 13,207 minutes of content to my YouTube channel. So I've been keeping myself busy and hopefully I've been keeping you guys entertained. Now, if you didn't watch every single one of those 13,207 minutes, shame. Shame on you. What, like you have anything better to do? What kind of elitist are you that you have a life in 2020? Flipping overachiever? In those 13,207 minutes, honestly, how many more times am I going to say that? Are a lot of park building ideas for Jurassic World Evolution. In case you missed some of them, I want to share some of my favorites with you. Because if you haven't tried these yet in 2020, I think they will be good ideas to take into 2021 with you, so you can continue to get the most out of your copy of Jurassic World Evolution. If you don't have the game yet, here's a friendly reminder that it is now super discounted. You can get the base game for just $5 on Steam right now, and it is also free to download via Epic Games on December 31st. Now, somebody did point out that games you get via Epic Games are not suitable for modding, so if you want to go full out with mods on your Jurassic World Evolution, go for the $5 version instead. Honestly, you can't go wrong with that. If you install mods, you can make parks like this recent Winter Wonderland park that I built. It truly felt like a new game with this entire overhaul of the terrain system. And the way this inspired me while building made it an instant favorite of mine, and also makes me very excited about the park building series that we will be kicking off 2021 with. Even if you can't mod because maybe you're on console or for whatever reason, I hope you'll still enjoy watching these parks be built by a crazy path lady. And remember that even if you can't use the same mods, you can still find inspiration in the park builds. Because even without mods, there is a ton you can do in this game, as I've demonstrated a lot in 2020. I want to start with the only non-sandbox park build, and that was my race to 5 stars against Swerve. I had a lot of fun battling against another park builder, and this is something you can easily do with a friend as well. Just like we did, you can use Discord to call each other and then duke it out in challenge mode. To raise the stakes a little bit, we added a truth or dare minigame. Every time one of us gained a star in our island rating, the other one had to do a truth or dare, which resulted in a gem like this one.
That's the best you're gonna get out of me.
I'm sorry, man. I had to do it. I had to use it one more time. I promise I won't use it again. This stays in 2020, don't worry. Anyway, especially as the world is still on its ass currently, this is a really fun way to spend time with a friend while hopefully avoiding those awkward Zoom silences. And of course, you can play with multiple people at once. If you don't trust each other, to be honest, when someone reaches a star, well, maybe get new friends? Or just record your gameplay for proof. Now, as far as creative sandbox building, we've done a lot on this channel throughout the year, but here are some of my favorites that I think you will enjoy in 2021 as well if you haven't tried them yet. Starting with one of the more recent things we've been doing on the channel, geometric shapes. I actually started this before I had my YouTube channel with a park I built out of hexagons. We've now followed that up with a park built entirely out of squares and one built entirely out of circles. The square park was actually one of the longest park builds I've ever done at 8 hours. Actually, I think it was over 8 hours, which might sound daunting, but it was a lot of fun to just fill up the squares. The circle park was much quicker in comparison, but again, a fun challenge. If you don't know how to make these shapes with the path and fence tool, check out this video from 65 million years ago, and don't be alarmed at the voiceover, I swear I had a pulse. At some point we will of course be tackling more shapes on the channel, so hit the subscribe and ring the bell if you want to see those park builds. Speaking of things that you will be seeing more of in 2021, Jurassic World Evolution racetracks. I built a racetrack on Nublar North and I had so much fun building it, again during a live stream, but also racing it, that I really want to expand on this and do it for more maps. Potentially even all of them if you will enable this very specific obsession of mine. It wasn't just building a racetrack, but also coming up with obstacles to make it more of an obstacle course, and it was like experiencing the game in a whole new way. I really recommend you try this for the dual fun of playing around, coming up with obstacles and tasks and building your track, and experiencing Jurassic World Evolution as almost a first-person game. Now, continuing with the vehicular enthusiasm, there are 3 more parks that I've built that I really loved building, but also just love experiencing through the tours I've created. First, the Highway to the Danger Zone. I built this park on Sorna 1993. I'm so sorry for singing. I built this park on Sorna 1993, where instead of taking the tours through an exhibit, I let it pass in between exhibits. This feels way more realistic and more reminiscent of the original tour in the 1993 movie. I just really love the look of the track sandwiched by these tall fences and the genuine feel of a road and traffic that it creates. At 56,000 views, it looks like you guys also really enjoyed this concept, and if you haven't tried it yet, you really should. It can be a little fiddly to get the second fence close to the track without it wanting to snap across to snap to the other fence, but I think it's worth the effort. Even if you don't do a full park like this, doing it for a single tour along your most dangerous carnivores is really cool. And that's exactly what I did for one of my other personal favorites, the longest Jurassic Park tour. This entire park is essentially just one insanely long tour track going through and sometimes in between multiple exhibits. The entire tour takes 50 minutes, and if you want to check it out, that full-length video is on the channel. I find it super relaxing and the beauty of the game just really shines. If you want a quick idea of what this super long tour looks like, you can check out the abbreviated version with the sarcastic underpaid tour guide. Should we bring her into 2021? I don't know. Some people just don't appreciate truly sarcastic, cringy humor, which I can't fault you for. That's just my particular brand of humor. I'm so sorry. You can also tackle this idea and replace the official car tour with a monorail tour. Just make the monorail one giant attraction. It's super relaxing to build and to ride. Next up, and these aren't in any sort of order by the way, but next up is my Mesozoic Metropolis build, or should I say Mesozoic Metropolis. So sorry. I've built this park in a park building series that you can check out in full. It was truly one of my favorite projects of the year, and if this list was in some sort of order, this would be top 3 for sure. Even though the raptors were like really insistent on just going extinct again. Oh my god, it was a nightmare. But the building aspect of it was really fun. Trust me, it was fun. I had fun. Full disclosure, this was my first foray into modding. So this specific park was built using the Mixed Eras mod, but honestly, you can build a city without that mod. I actually also sort of built like a New York City inspired park with the dinosaurs in Central Park, and that was done without mods. I definitely think that the Mesozoic Metropolis looks a lot better than my Central Park? But I think that's also largely due to becoming a better park builder over the course of time. This list wouldn't be complete without my Compass Park. This was, I think, my most ambitious build of 2020. Of course, unless you are as demented as I am, building a big path design like this isn't fun. It's just not fun. But there are still elements to this park that make it more than just a crazy path art park. And these elements you can use for your park builds in 2021, like the different biomes in each of the wind directions. I didn't go with too highly contrasting biomes, I went with redwood, grassland, swamp, and rainforest, but you can make the differences much more extreme and pop in a desert or a savanna or a tundra or whatever you want. And no, you don't need mods to make any of those biomes, just a little bit of imagination. You can also use the central design of the park and build a park of your own where guests just get dropped in the middle of nowhere and you can have a tour go all the way around instead of separating it into 4 tours as I did. Second to last park on this list is another park from a 2020 building series, and that is my Mini 5 Deaths building series. I had a whole thing on the channel where I recreated islands in miniature, like V3 from The Isle, Skull Island from King Kong, Westeros from Game of Thrones, and even the world map, which were all really great to build, but conceptually I like my Mini 5 Deaths plus Nublar the most. For obvious reasons, it just fits really well in the game. Now, I've built them all in one map on Nublar 1993, but you can also do this by building one at a time. So you can use a lot more space, get the shape right, and add more dinosaurs on each island. Lastly, I want to mention my Pangea Park, which is more about the no fences idea taken to the extreme. Not gonna lie, placing this many lights requires a certain, let's say, lack of respect for the limited amount of time we have on Earth. Because honestly, I wasted too much of it. It's kind of depressing to think about. But the end result speaks for itself. I love how it turned out. By using only bigger dinosaurs, a single row of lights is perfectly suited to keep all the dinosaurs contained, and I wove a tour in between the exhibits, which creates a spectacular viewing experience, spared no expense. Now, as I always do, I took it to the extreme. You don't have to, obviously. You don't have to go all out with the idea. You can just do a couple of smaller exhibits lined with lights only. That way it doesn't cost so much time, doesn't suck the soul right out of you, and it'll just be some variation within your park. That concludes my personal picks for 2020. I hope that this inspires you for your next park build, the first of 2021. And of course, I hope you will be back in 2021 for more of where this came from, because there's so much more. If you enjoyed these parks, leave a like and let me know in a comment which park was your favorite of 2020. Now, it doesn't have to be one of my parks. You can also describe one of your best parks that you want to share with the community for some inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy the game.